Hi guys, so in this lesson we're going to look at the settlement site and the settlement situation. They're two slightly different things. We're also going to go on to look at the different types of settlement pattern, of which there are nucleated, linear and dispersed. So we'll start off by looking at the settlement site. Now the settlement site is the exact point where the site is located. So if we have a look here, some things that you'll be thinking about when deciding where to put your settlement in the first place will be things like flat land, fertile land, a good source of water, may also be a bridging point. You might also want to put it on the coast so you get access to trade and communications. A forest, a good supply of resources, for example, wood. Now, of course, you will start to realise straight away that not all of these original site factors are important in the modern day. So the original site factor may not be important. So you will see that there are things here like a wet point site that is near a good supply of water. That could be a spring where water comes out of the ground, or it could be a river with lots of fresh water. Dry point site, if your location is very wet and marshy and boggy, you want a dry place to build. Defensive, could be at the top of the hill, could be on the bend in a river, somewhere that's going to make it difficult for your enemies to attack you. Aspect, it's nice to be in a sunny place, so if your settlement is facing towards the sun, it's going to be a lot better, it's going to be warmer for you, and it's going to be better growing crops. Shelter, you could be sheltered by a prevailing wind. Prevailing wind is where the wind direction blows most of the time, so if you are sheltered from the winds, that's going to be very good for you. Gap towns, sometimes you find a gap between the hills, and that's where you would put your road through the gap in the hills, and that makes it a gap town. Or as we said before, resources near to coal, bridging point across a river, for example, and then trading centres. Hong Kong, of course, is a very good example of a trading centre. So going to the situation. When you're describing the situation of a place, you need a few extra things. It's in relation to the surrounding human and physical features. So there you're going to need to talk about the physical features, the hills, the valleys, the mountains, the rivers and the sea, but also the human features as well. Things like roads and railways and the surrounding towns. So an answer for Hong Kong will be something like the situation of Hong Kong is on the Pearl, at the bottom of the Pearl River Delta, on the Victoria Harbour, and we are very close. We have an airport, we have a large seaport, and we're very close to Macau and to Shenzhen. So see there, I've talked about the situation because it's both physical and human factors.